Welcome to the all-new, all-improved, even tastier, live from your mother's basement. As you can tell, I have a new co-host, and that is the very funny, when he wants to be, kind of cool, hypoallergenic, Ram Yanani, ladies and gentlemen. I've known him for ages. He's, if you can't tell, he's an American.
Yes.
Hopefully that won't bring down the tone too much.
No.
Anyway, so first segment. Essentially, because we're going to be making it like a show, we need to have a segment for movies, and because of the fact that it's live from your mother's basement, there need to be geeky movies. With all of them, you got the Siskel and Ebert.
Siskel and Ebert, yeah.
Thank you. Doing the whole 2 thumbs up kind of thing, and then you got the 5 stars or the out of 10 or Rotten Tomatoes, the rate of freshness, and all that kind of thing.
Right.
We decided to actually come up with a scale of bad to good. We're going to use the star system anyway, but bad to good, basically, we're going to analyse geeky films and decide whether it is actually Shyamalan or Scorsese.
Now that's M. Night Shyamalan, the mastermind behind such classic films.
Wait.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
There was Unbreakable.
That's the only good one.
I think pretty much everybody else is sick of The Sixth Sense. We all know the gag. It's not actually entertaining anymore. Signs was kind of okay, but everything else has just been, hitting your head against the floor.
What was that really bad one with Mark Wahlberg about the trees coming to life and stuff?
The Happening, which basically is a title saying something happens. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the indifferent, essentially.
Yes.
More or less. So the first one that came out, we're going to talk about 5 of them. 5 of them. There we go.
5.
Excellent. Right. The first one, obviously, has to be Thor. It's just come out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yep.
First big geek movie of the summer, I dare say. I mean, somebody out there actually go, oh no, it was actually something else. No, basically, just for all intents and purposes, if you're like a 1980s comic booky kind of geek like we are, basically, then Thor was the first big geeky movie of the summer, really, wasn't it? So, pros and cons. What was good? What was bad? Ramsin.
I was surprised, actually. I didn't have any interest in seeing this movie when it came out in the cinema because I saw the first trailer for it and I thought, I was never like a huge Thor fan. Right. I appreciated him as a standalone character. When he was in the Avengers, I thought, okay, they needed him in there because he's one of the big Marvel comic characters, and Spider-Man wasn't available at the time, kind of thing. I think he was like doing his nails or something. Stuff like that. So I really didn't care too much about it, but then I did end up seeing it, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. And the big draw for me to go see this movie was actually 2 things. One was the fact that Kenneth Branagh directed it, and the 2, really thinking about it, but Anthony Hopkins as Odin.
Mm.
Now, originally I know that he wasn't the first casted.
There was a rumor that Brian Blessed
was signed to do it, but he, for some reason, some kind of schedule conflict or something like that, because he's so busy, he couldn't do it. He would have made a great Odin.
He would have been, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they got.
If he were much younger, I could have seen him more as kind of Volstagg, really.
Yeah,
I think Ray Stevenson wasn't great. He was fantastic as Volstagg.
I just want to see him do the whole Thor's alive, But I really enjoyed the film. Surprisingly, the cast was great. Again, that's the pros. The cons I had for it were Natalie Portman.
Really?
Yeah, I just cannot get around her acting. I've not seen Blue Swan or Black Swan, so I cannot base any comparison on that.
This is kind of my shocked face.
But I honestly, I'm not a huge Natalie Portman fan. She is pleasant to look at. She's a really nice person in real life, but I don't know.
I'm just
Chris
sitting here
Hemsworth.
nodding, she's a nice looking woman. I'm like,
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
yep.
Chris Hemsworth was fantastic as Thor, and I personally cannot see anyone else playing a character. I mean,
He has kind of taken it over, really, hasn't
well, yeah,
he?
he's Kirk's father, for God's sake. You know, and
Kirk's
you know,
father does need to be a Norse god, really, doesn't he?
well, of course, yes.
Or a Greek one, with his hair flowing in the breeze.
Absolutely. You know, fighting the ice
Or flying
giants. That was brilliant. Everything about the movie visually was.
The Jotun were quite terrifying, really, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
They were quite terrifying. And it was an awesome, awesome fight scene. Great. It was really well filmed, very well choreographed, very well edited. The humor was perfect in every spot. I mean, everybody down from Thor to Agent Coulson. Everyone had great lines in the film. Even Hawkeye had a great line.
Yeah, even if it was just a cameo as well. This was something that I said before on a previous, non-lemony fresh version of Live from Your Mother's Basement, about how it was almost like basically every single person was like a cog. And it was all cogs that meshed in the machine. There was no one that really stood out that actually went, oh, this isn't working, this isn't quite meshing, kind of thing. They all meshed together. They all actually they all looped together,
It was.
Despite your dislike of Natalie Portman, though, you do have to admit that her chemistry with Chris Hemsworth was actually.
It did work.
It was quite.
It did work. Yeah,
She was very sweet with it as well,
The thing that just made me cringe was when he dies. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, then you shouldn't be watching this because we're going to be just reviewing a lot of stuff. So, flash the spoiler alert, blah, blah, blah. But when he dies very cool. He
as a sacrificial.
He sacrifices himself, which is showing that he's proven to, wield the hammer and
Mjolnir.
And everything's cool. He dies, blah blah blah. When he comes back and he wears his armor, and they close up on her, and she's just like, oh my, great reaction. That was really good of her. But then after everything's done, he walks up to her, and she's like, is this what all Asgardians wear? Nice look. I just was like,
this is what you look like normally. It's a good look.
It's a good look. I was just like, really? Okay.
But you see, I think there's a couple of the hammy moments like that were put in there really just to actually help kind of ease, really,
Honestly, the thing that got me, the movie, the scene in the entire film that just made the movie great for me. Just the one scene that every time I watch it, I crack up when I watch it, is when he escapes the hospital and she decides they need to go find Thor. And so she backs up in the van and you see him crossing through the back windows and she nails him.
Yeah.
The look on his face just before the van hits him.
Oh crap look.
It's fantastic. If you don't believe me, pause this, go watch it.
Yeah, pause it on that 1 second when he realises what's happening.
On that 1 second, he has this look of like, huh? It's just fantastic.
If you want to know what an Asgardian god looks like in the headlights, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Right. The gentleman who played Loki,
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, yes. He
was my favourite, actually.
And the thing is, he made Loki actually to me a likable character.
Sympathetic
Character. He's not a villain. He's just warped because of what he's found out about himself.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's the fact that it was almost like essentially that he acted with his eyes first, and he just followed everything, and you could actually you could understand why he was going where he was going more or less.
Absolutely.
But you really didn't want him to.
No.
Yeah,
and so once
it's going to be great when it comes to the Avengers because he's going to be even more unhinged.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant actor. I've seen him actually play a completely different role in Wallander, which is the Kenneth Branagh TV series.
Yeah.
And why Kenneth Branagh brought him on to play Loki. Because he was like, well, he's fantastic. He auditioned to play Thor.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, but Kenneth Branagh said that you could be a perfect Loki, and essentially by putting him in there, he's actually he's turned lead into gold essentially.
Basically.
Loki could have been a really lame character if not for the great acting to go behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single cast member in that movie, even Kat Dennings,
Yeah, what little she does. She was
What
actually-
little she does, she was
She was
great.
a comic relief, though. You know,
She really was,
Stellan
yeah.
Skarsgård. I've
Yeah,
always
fantastic.
loved Stellan Skarsgård.
Fantastic.
Anyway. You know, I love him in his independent movies
Yeah.
and his big films as well. He's always been fantastic. He's one of those guys that I actually say, you know, I've never seen him act badly,
Yeah.
and I've seen him in bad films. He's a bit of a Johnny Depp, basically.
Yeah. So,
So yeah.
So-
So out of 5, then Ramsden.
Out of
5
5.
stars, what would you say?
I would give Thor a strong 4.5.
Strong 4.5. I would say 4.5. I would lean towards 5 just purely because I had a horrendous enjoyment factor sitting there in the cinema. I went to the cinema twice to see it with my wife. We saw it both times in 3D. You don't actually lose a lot in the 2D,
No.
to be honest with you. The 3D was just there just cuz, really, at the end of the day. You know. Yeah. But the 2D, well, it was used very well in the cinema, but you know, you don't really lose anything by watching it in 2D. Also, is the fact that, you know, because of my Scandinavian background, really, you know, actually really big into all of the Norse mythology. Seen Sleipnir,
Yeah.
Odin's steed with its 8 legs. It was fantastic, all that sort of stuff. So I'd say a 5. We invite you to send us money.
Donations are welcome.
Donations are welcome. However, this is a non-profit web show, so just
If you happen to see me and decide you want to hand me a $20 bill,
note. £20 note. It's a £20 note.
just told them I'm American.
I know, but at the end, you do still live in this country. You have to follow our stuff. Yeah,
I'm the master
of the English language. Yeah, I mean, I live in this country.
And
You
you
know,
say we assassinated the English language.
I do it frequently.
Okay.
I should be brought up on charges. Here I am with my incredibly Welsh accent, using very long words that nobody understands, and yet I still can't string a sentence together.
And I say stuff like, dude,
Dude,
bitchin',
nice.
rad.
Whatever.
I bring the culture to this show.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. American culture. Now that sounds like an oxymoron, really, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does actually.